So welcome back to this whole episode of When Good Guys Lose. And with this one again, it's Rengoku Akaza. Those of you who've already watched the Mugen arc, you already know how this goes down. But let's walk it through slowly because there's different pieces to the whole entire tale. So again, dive into Rengoku, checking out any mysterious disappearance relative to the Mugen train itself. He's there with Tanjiro and the whole crew relative to needing support. They get through the whole dream sequence as in when they were stuck in their dreams. And the real part I want to dive into is what happened with his fight with Akaza, who is actually number 3 in regards to the Kizuki 12. So Akaza's not a lightweight. He's the 3rd strongest yokai or demon in regards to Muzan's crew. And basically, even right from the jump of this fight, you see that this is not just a fight against human versus demon as in who's stronger. It's actually more a fight of ideals relative to the ideals that Rengoku was brought up with in regards to actually having, not even just mercy on the weak, but also believing in the strength that human beings have and the value in that, versus what Akaza is talking about, which is, I don't want to say demon speak, but, the whole point of humans are weak, the weakness is to be despised, and weak people can die, essentially in his own words. Take a look at this scene where I don't know to call it inner battle, but hidden battle already starts to happen within the actual fight scene itself. And now you can see, boom, they're right into the fight itself, which is pretty clean, I have to admit. I mean, I'm no judge of anime, just saying, you see that this is clearly an upper rank fight in that Tanjiro and all, they couldn't even get involved, not just even them being wounded. It's a little above their grade. So Rengoku's doing every single thing he can to stay in this fight, considering the matchup. And also the fact that Akaza himself has a long-range technique, which you'll see here. So Rengoku starts getting up close and personal relative to the fight, and even still, as the fight is going, the ideals keep popping up. Again, like I said, this is not just a fight between Rengoku and Akaza, it's a fight between 2 different ideals. One, a human who became a demon, and one is a human who finds value in remaining human. And listen to the words. Again, I keep bringing it back to the words. This is essentially the ethos of who Rengoku is. And he shows you how unwavering that is in terms of how you're brought up. Sometimes showcases itself when you go through challenging situations. If a bunch of your friends are wanting to steal and you weren't brought up that way, you might actually say that's not the right thing to do. They may call you a loser, whatever the case may be. But if you stand your ground on your principles, that would be the best thing to do. Because 1, you wouldn't be in jail, and 2, you wouldn't feel guilt or shame and regret in regards to taking something that's not yours. Now that is obviously one example, Again, think of what Akaza is trying to offer Rengoku. He's telling Rengoku to become a yokai like him. He admits that Rengoku is strong. He also says that if Rengoku joins him, death is something he won't have to fear because he will live for a long time. He can heal easily. And even in the face of that, Rengoku is still like, no. Again, this is anime no Iesu, Jesus and anime. This is now that situation where the enemy tempts you with regards to power, with regards to something that could help you. You see it even in the fact that when the fight starts to go south for Rengoku, as in he takes some punches, like actual wounds that don't just heal with one single breathing technique. And he's just there. And they're watching, Tanjiro and Cole watching the fight like, oh man, I can't believe he's losing. And Akaza is saying like, hey, you could easily heal this if you just take a drop of the demon blood. I think you need more than a drop if you have breathing technique training in you. But, he's essentially keeps on trying to convert Rengoku. So for those who don't understand fully what that means is that Akaza is going through his own issues and situations. He was a boy when he also got changed into a yokai. So you can see that in him, he's just looking for, it almost seems like he's lonely in a sense. He's looking for a sparring partner, someone who will keep him entertained. So he's not asking Rengoku to become a yokai because that aligns with Rengoku's desires. He wants Rengoku to become a yokai, as in a demon, because of him, Akaza, who's just bored and is looking for someone to fight. He could locally be saying he needs a friend, but Akaza, there's a better way to say that. But anyway, so basically you see Rengoku at this point here, bruised, beaten, wounded, the ribs, the eye, and even with all of that, Rengoku stands his ground on who he is and his principles, essentially saying no to the enemy, saying no to the offer, saying no to the person who's like, hey, because keep in mind, you don't think it's funny? Akaza is the one who's beaten him to the level he's at, with him losing the eye and all of that, yet is the one offering him power. So that's how deception looks. Deception claims to love you, yet punches you with the other hand and says, hey, I'm doing this to guide you into a better place. Crazy, right? So Rengoku stands his ground, and I wouldn't say levels up, but goes deeper into that finality of who he is. It's a pretty cool scene in terms of grit, determination, courage. I could talk, but I think the scene says it all. Yeah, take a look. So you see him, Rengoku's ablaze. Technically, in a typical anime, this is where he closes the fight and it's over. Because, he's on fire, he's on that edge, he's not winning the fight, but he's about to put his full spirit into this. I'm sure the fans, the first time they saw it, were like, let's go, this is gonna happen. Then you'll see him go for his final technique. Well, I'll call it second final and you'll see what I mean by that. Again, best technique he knows to date, which is his esoteric style, Rengoku. So he dives in with that. Obviously, phenomenal animation. Come on. UFO table is going crazy here. But anyway, phenomenal animation.
Let's go,
goes
Bob.
in for every attack he can use to deal damage. And it seems like at this point, Akaza realizes that he's going to have to step it up just a little bit, and he does in a fatal way for Rengoku. We gotta watch the real fight to see what happens, but long and short end of it is that Akaza places his whole fist through Rengoku's gut, which is nasty as it sounds in terms of fatal blow. And what that means is that Rengoku is going to die because there's no breathing technique he can use at this point to recover from it. So with that hit alone, Rengoku is already running on limited time relative to his own death, if that makes sense. But the key thing I want you to see here is even in that moment, the enemy is in Akaza still talking, still saying, hey, you're about to die. He's forgetting he's the one who put that finishing blow, but he's like, hey, you're about to die. Just let me help you.